Well, thanks, Desiree. So an 18-year-old suspect is expected to appear in the Simonstown Magistrate's Court today. This is in connection with the murder of a Cape Town magistrate, Romay van Rooyen. Van Rooyen was found dead at her house in Marina da Gama earlier this month. For more on the story, we are now joined by our reporter, Vanessa Poonah. Vanessa, I know that you have a guest standing by, but tell us what we know so far about the suspect.
Yes, indeed. Good morning to you. And it was a rather brief appearance here in the Simonstown Magistrate's Court this morning. An 18-year-old, and I can name him, he has appeared in court, Cassidy Hudsonberg. We understand a relative of the late magistrate Romay van Rooyen appeared in this court opting for legal aid. And of course the state then is saying that at this stage they are not yet ready to proceed with bail proceedings. The matter has been postponed until the 6th of October for the following appearance. But of course you will know that the murder of the magistrate in her home in Marina da Gama has caused shockwaves across South Africa really. And joining us now is the Minister of Police, General Bheki Cele, who a couple of weeks ago outside the family home said that the matter would be taken over and investigated by the Hawks. He is here today to join us. Minister, very warm good morning to you. So I think a shocking turn of events that a relative and one so young arrested in connection with Magistrate van Rooyen's murder. You said just now that all indications initially, speculation could be that it was a matter that she may have been before her in the courts. Minister, tell us a bit about how this 18-year-old suspect came to have been arrested and appeared in this court here today.
Well, I hear saying warm welcome. It's not warm at all. Yeah. But back to the matter we are raising, it's a turn of events the way that very few people would have expected. We handed over the case to Hawks 2 weeks ago as we were here. You know that the victim was buried last week. The person that is in court, the magistrate did ask if police have a prima facie. We believe that we have more than prima facie kind of evidence that has been collected by the police, and as it's a pity that it would be a relative, quite a close relative, a young man that appeared in court today. So while the investigations are continuing, but that does not weaken the information we have. You would know that the post-mortem has told us that the death was not natural. It was a natural death, which means somebody was murdered. So we had to find a person. We believe that person is in hand, but the rest will be in court. But we believe that we'll be able to prove in court that we have found the right person.
At this stage, Minister, the sole suspect arrested in this case, I know you said the matter is still continuing and is still under investigation. Can you tell us whether any other suspects are being sought at this stage?
Well, under investigation, it will lead us if there are other suspects. But for now, we believe we need to have further investigations. Maybe it's enough to say so at the present moment.
Minister, just now also we were talking about 2 children whose bodies were found here in Cape Town over the past few days. Also a 15-year-old girl in Motherwell, gang raped, Minister. There is a concern. Communities are crying out in terms of what seems to be rampant crime. Just the other day, we spoke to you at an Imbizo in Khayelitsha for men against gender-based violence, and these incidents still occurring. Which is shocking to the nation of South Africa.
Well, as you say, we had Imbizo last week talking to men, because these cases you talk about are the cases that are committed men against the women. Most of the time you find that you arrest a person that would have been a relative to the victim. Indeed, what we need to do is to respond as the police to arrest those people. But it would be good to increase the ways and the methods of preventing those things. The Imbizo we had last week was to try to work on that men should be protectors, men should be there and work on prevention on the matters. But once it happened, the police must react and arrest those people. We believe we are doing quite a good breakthroughs here in Western Cape, though we do them after the case has happened. You'll remember that we had that man who's charged with 31 cases with 19 matters about the persons that those that kidnapped the known citizen here, Java. Those about 4 or 5 people have been arrested. We are doing good arrest as the police here, but it would be good that we increase on the methods and ways of prevention rather than reacting.
Minister Bekele, thank you so much for speaking to me. Of course, the Minister of Police there, joined by senior SABC management and members of the Hawks that have investigated this case, really amid an outcry that a senior magistrate was indeed found murdered in her home. And of course, today we just heard that an 18-year-old relative has appeared in this court behind us, due to appear again on the 6th of October when bail proceedings are expected to get underway.
Yeah, it's just Vanessa, it's obviously lots of activity outside of the courtroom. Explain to us who you're seeing outside, except for the officials that you have spoken to, such as the police minister.
Yes, I've actually tried to keep an eye out. I haven't seen the family of Magistrate Romay van Rooyen, but we have seen some members of the public here with banners and posters, and I understand it's a separate case. I mean, if I can just show you, I don't know if I can just ask my colleague just to show you around the corner there. There are some people with signs that says no mercy, no bail, no peace, and I suppose this is what I've asked Police Minister about, is the fact that our courts each and every day, there are families that have suffered the loss of loved ones to murder, those that have gone through sexual violence and sexual assault, such as rape. And of course, each and every day, if you go to any court, I think across the country, you will see people outraged and calling for justice for those loved ones that they've lost.
Yeah. That's our reporter Vanessa Poonah speaking to us there about the 18-year-old suspect expected to appear in the Simonstown Magistrate's Court in connection with the murder of Romay van Rooyen.